Hey, this is Semester 1 Practice Final Version C, as in Charlie. Let's see if we can make this work. So 4 to the n power times 4 to the 12th power equals 4 to the 15th power. N would have to be 3 to make this work because it's a base add. This one's not on the final exam, but it's just setting you up. So 500 divided by 50 is 10. It's 10 times larger. Now we're doing the same thing. How many times larger is that one. So 7 times 10 to the 9th over 7 times 10 to the 4th. 7 divided by 7 is 1. There's my 1. 10 to the 9th times 10 to the 4th is 10 to the 5th. So that's 5 zeros. 1 with 5 zeros. Okay, start at 0, 0, go over 9, I go up, and I'm at 6 units right there, 6. 6 units up. Remember, I'm not teaching this right now. I'm just kind of giving you some direction and a little bit of guidance. Find the error. 5 to the 5th over 5 to the 2nd. Well, that should be 5 to the 3rd. Whoa, what did I just do there? I multiplied. Why did I multiply? It should be 5 to the 3rd. And I went 5 to the 10th over 5. No, that's an error right there. Create the equation for this line. Well, it has a y-intercept at 0. And here's a slope triangle, good point. So the slope is 10 over 20. 10 over 20, the slope is 1/2. So y equals 1/2 x. There's my equation, y equals 1/2 x. Select all the expressions that are equivalent to this. Okay. So 5 to the negative 4 times 5 to the negative 2, that's 5 to the negative 6, raised to the negative 3 power, multiply those, that gives me 5 to the 18th. That looks good. I could also distribute it. This is not distribution, it looks like distribution, but let's give that negative 3 to those guys. So it becomes negative 5 to the 12th and 5 to the 6th. There we go, which becomes 5 to the 18th. So 5 to the 18th, that's a valid answer. 5 to the 12th, 5 to the 6th, that works. 5 to the negative 18 doesn't make sense, and that one doesn't make sense either. X equals 4, what does that mean? That means there's one solution. One solution. Find a value for x that makes this true. Let's put 1 in. So if I put a 1 in there, it turns out to be a 1/2. That's not true, because I want it to be equal to 1/8. If I put a 2 in there, I get 4 over 16, which is 1/4. That doesn't work. If I put a 3 in there, I get 8 over 64, which is 1/8. So 3 works. If x equals 3, it works. If x equals 1, or anything except 3, it doesn't work. Which equation is proportional? Proportional is y equals mx plus 0. Y equals mx plus 0. What is the value for x that makes this true? I'm going to distribute the 1/2. Half of 12 is 6. Half of negative 2 is negative 1. Combining like terms into a 10. Adding 1 to both sides takes that to a 40. 10x equals 40, so x equals 4. Solving this. Combining like terms, 6x plus 7x is 13x. Negative 2 and negative 7 is negative 9. Adding 9 to both sides takes that to negative 65. Dividing both sides by 13 takes me to a negative 5. One bus can hold 45 people. I need to move 270 people. 270 divided by 45 is 6. One box, now same idea except with exponents. One box can hold that many, so it's 14 to the 8th divided by 14 to the 3rd. 14 to the 8th minus 3 is to the 5th, right? How many are on top? 8. More on the top of the bottom. More on the top. How many more? 5. Okay. Select all the equations that have infinitely many solutions. Infinite solutions are going to simplify down to be exactly the same on both sides. So 16x plus 16 equals, distribute it, 16x plus 16. That works. Distribute gives me 6x minus 30 plus 3. So 6x minus 30 plus 3 is minus 27. And this becomes, well, negative times a negative is positive. So I have 6x minus 27. That works again. This one, see, 3x minus 8 does not equal 3x minus 12. I messed that up, minus 12. Well, it still doesn't work. And this is, what, 6x minus 15 plus 4. So 6x minus 11 Does that equal negative 21? I can stop right there. It doesn't equal negative 21. So 9,000 people went out to dinner. 180,000 stayed home. How many times more? So 180,000 divided by 9,000 is 20. Same idea, except now with exponents. So 8.7 times 8 times 10 to the 7th over 2 times 10 to the 3rd. You could expand it out and then divide it and get that. Another way is, what's 8 divided by 4? Excuse me, 8 divided by 2 is 4 with times 10 to the 4th. Okay, filling this thing. We know that these have to add up, these have to add up, these have to add up, add up, add up, add up. Let's see. I think the intercept's right there at about 76. That's because it's going up by 4 each time, so plus 4 plus 4. And the slope, I found 2 good points down here. Found the slope to be 24 over 4, which is 6. And it's a negative because it's a negative line. So there's my intercept at 76 and my slope at negative 6. Intercept's at 30. So there's my intercept at 30, and the slope is 30 over 25. What's that? 10, 20, 30 over 20, which is 1.5. There's my slope of 1.5. Okay, Matt has $100 and he adds 40 each week. Melanie has 0 and she adds 60 each week. They match up at 5 weeks at $300. System of equations, let's solve it. This one's in standard form. Split it into 2 mini equations, get the intercepts, plot the intercepts. Standard form, mini equations, get the intercepts, plot the intercepts. Draw the lines. Looks like it comes together at 2, 0. Okay, so this one starts at 550 and it stays at 550. This one starts at 425 and goes up by 15. What can you tell me? They're both going to be linear. The 2 graphs will intersect. That's true. Resort B will always be cheaper. I don't know about that. It depends on how much I eat up there. So D, you can only determine it after you know how much Rachel will eat. Rachel. How many solutions? All right. This one's in standard form. I split it into 2 mini equations. I'm going to graph it. This guy's in slope-intercept form, so I start at 7 and I go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Comes together at 3, 1. One solution at 3, 1. Same. Okay. I want infinite solutions, so I want this equation right here to match one of those. Well, 4x minus 3y equals 6. That doesn't match. 8x. Well, I could divide that and turn it into a... Divided by 2 turns it into a 4. Divided by 2 turns it into a 3. Divided by 2 turns it into a 3. Nope, that doesn't match. This guy right here, 3y. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to rearrange the terms. So I move the x to the front and the y behind it. Then I went through and changed all the signs, and you notice that they're the same. I actually didn't change the equation. All I did is I rearranged it and divided everything by a negative. Perfectly legit. And I guess C just doesn't work. Let me try C. Well, no, look, 3y and 3x. There's no way I'm going to be able to change that into a 4 and a 3. That's why I stopped early on it. Looks like the intercept, so if this is at 5, I have it at 5.5. That's not 5 though. If this is at 7, I have it at 7.5. That makes more sense. And then my slope here, I had a point right there, that's going up by 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8. It's going over by a bigger number. What's that, 1, 2, 3, so 8 over 3. So there are my answers, 7.5 and 8 over 3 is 2.6 repeating. Let's see, these are both in standard form. I split them into mini equations. I plot the intercepts, connect the dots, comes together at 5, negative 2. It's only asking for the x value, so the x is 5. Next one, 76, 76, 119, 119, 79, 79, 116, 116. Of the 119, so do not drive, do not take the subway. There's my 58. Once it's in there, I can fill in the rest of the table. This one is for Math 1 only. We're going to create a system of equations. That's an intercept, that's a slope. That's an intercept, that's a slope. I create slope-intercept equations. I set them equal to each other and I solve them. And then I have to round it. This is going to round to 10.5. And our final one, two lines that have the same y-intercept intersect at exactly one point. They may or they may be coinciding lines. They might be right on top of each other. So that's sometimes true. Two lines with the same slope will intercept at an infinite number of points sometimes, or they could be parallel lines and not intersect at all. Two lines with different slopes and the same y-intercept will intercept at exactly one point. That's true. Different slopes always intersect. And two lines with the same slope but different intercepts, same slope, will intersect at an infinite number of points. No, those are actually parallel lines, so that won't work. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.